Hello and welcome back to Minds Competing in Tech. Now today we review the Samsung S5 and see if it's still a usable phone in 2021. So I'm first going to start off with some overall general specs. So the phone was released in 2014 in April. Has a weight of 145 grams and the thickness is 8.1 millimeters. The phone first came with Android 4.42 operating system. Then Samsung released update for Android 6.1 Marshmallow, and also Samsung don't use stock Android. Stock Android meaning like just basic Android. They use something called TouchWiz UI, which is their own custom Android, so they can customize all the settings, add or remove certain stuff. And you can also get this in a 16GB or 32GB internal storage. It has a 5.1 inch screen size with 1080p resolution. It has a 16 megapixel back camera, which can support up to 4K recording or 2160p. It has 2GB of RAM or memory, and it has a Snapdragon 801 CPU, and it also has a 2800 mAh battery, lithium ion, and it's also replaceable, which is a really good thing. Now some other stuff that makes it more usable for in 2021 is that shockingly it's water resistant. So it has an IP67 dust or water resistant up to 1 meter for 30 minutes. Now the screen is what impresses me the most. It has a Super AMOLED screen. Now that is an amazing phone just for a 2014 phone, which came out 7 years ago, which makes it such a good screen. You can literally see the screen in any type of brightness. So if whether in like a really bright sun or really dim weather, no matter what the weather, you can still see the screen. Oh yeah, and just to mention, it has a 2.5 gigahertz processor, quad core, and the GPU or graphics is Adreno 330. Now looking at some of the features it has, including the waterproof, is that it has a fingerprint sensor here. Now the fingerprint sensor is kind of accurate, I can say. For example, if I scan my finger like this, sorry about that, it's pretty accurate, but the only hassle thing is you have to scan your fingerprint. It's not like modern day phones where you can just touch it and it unlocks. You have to like properly scan the entire finger. It also has wireless charging, but that's market dependent, so you need to buy a special case which includes a wireless charging adapter. The standby time is 390 hours. It has a talk time of 21 hours and a music play time of up to 67 hours. Now this S5 also has some other impressive features, such as the barometer. Now if you don't know what a barometer is, it tells you like how high you are from sea level. This also includes a gesture. Now you might be a bit confused when I first said this, but what that means is that you can like scroll through your gallery without even having to touch the screen. So basically how it works, you get your hand and you swipe over the screen, and what it will do is like change the pictures without you actually have to touch the screen. Now I will show this later on in the video. It also has a heart rate sensor in the back here, and which is pretty accurate, as most phones don't have this, and some apps say you can use the flash as one. Now you can, but they're not as accurate. This one actually has a proper red light sensor to check out your heart rate. So for the build quality, I would say it's medium. So I definitely recommend you having a case and a glass screen protector with it, like you can see here. I have a glass screen protector on this. I haven't got a case, as it's my old phone, but I do recommend if you can still use it to put a case, because it's only got a plastic back, which is not that strong. It does the black cover can come off quite easily, and if you drop it, and the battery can fall out too, so maybe that's why you should consider getting a case. I mean, it's okay. It's up to you. Anyway, it's got a nice 3D effect to the actual back cover, which is quite nice. You see here, you got the speaker. Looking at the side here, you have this gloss metallic finish, I believe this is sprayed on. Then up here we have the headphone jack, and oh yeah, and over here we have an infrared blaster. This or sensor. This means you can control your television or your fan using infrared, because like you know that remotes always use infrared, which is quite shocking. This phone has one. So if you ever lost a remote, you can just control your TV through it. Over here we have the flash as well, next to the heart rate sensor. We have a USB 3 here. Into the flap up. USB 3 is basically like, so you can use it for charge. So it's not for charging USB 3, but it's for much more fast data transfers. So let's say I've recorded a 4K video in here, and as you know, 4K videos can use up a lot of storage and are much slower to transfer. If you have a laptop or computer with USB 3.0 capabilities, if you transfer that file, it'll be much significantly more faster than using a normal standard USB 2.0. Okay, so now we're going to go into the gaming performance and the sound performance. So I'm first going to start off with a few games that I found on the Play Store. So some of you might know these games. I've got Geometry Dash, I've got Driving School 2016, I've got Subway Surfers and Sniper 3D. So let's first try Subway Surfers. Okay, let's go ahead and try the game out. Okay, so looking at the game, the graphics are pretty good, and I can't lie, the responsive rate is really impressive. Like, the game doesn't lag out whatsoever. The screen responsive rate is great on this phone. Oops. But it is a pretty great phone overall for gaming. Well, I wouldn't say high spec games it will definitely fail on, such as maybe I think FIFA Mobile, it might be able to survive. I haven't actually tried that yet. Maybe I should actually go ahead and try it. With maybe such games such as like Fortnite or maybe Call of Duty Mobile, it wouldn't actually work because it's a pretty old phone and the graphics, etc. Okay, so now we're going to try that driving game out, and just to show you guys, I'm going to put the graphics on high, and you can see guys that I've put it on high graphics. Now I think this phone will actually support on high graphics, even though it's 7 years old. I think it has a lot of power in this phone. So let's try it out. So let me just set this up. Okay, so the game's loaded up. I'm going to skip this tutorial. Now, looking at the scenery around me, it's pretty good. I'm not sure you can see it in the camera, but if you look at the road here, the amount of detail there is really impressive. Like, the Adreno in here can actually really process it. If you look at the grass here, there, it's got so much detail in there. But let's go ahead and try what it's like actually driving it, if it's really glitchy. Wow. Impressively. It's not glitching a single bit. Now I can see here, even though it's not glitching, it is slightly just off smooth, very slightly off. I can feel it like while you're playing it. Like, it's not like, it's stuttering very slightly, but I'll say it's like a millisecond stuttering, so you won't be really able to notice it that much. But what I will turn down, I'll turn on the graphics to medium, and I'll see what it'll be like. But I think high could actually be very good. Okay, let's go ahead and turn down to medium then. Okay, so I'm not going to turn down the graphics to medium. As you guys can see now, it's on medium. So go back to free ride, select. Right, so this is on medium graphics. As you can see here, it's quite similar to high. I can't know the difference, to be honest, between it. I can think there's a slight difference. It probably won't pick up on the camera, but there's a very, very slight difference. So let's try it. No, I can totally feel the difference. Let me just get on the road. Give me a second. Now, yeah, it feels much more smoother than high graphics. But still, medium is, high is still pretty impressive because you would expect high graphics to actually lag out, and even though it was lagging out, it was only by like every millisecond, so you could barely even notice it. Of course, medium it's not lagging out a single bit, but I reckon some games high might work, some games medium might need medium, depending on like when the game came out, etc. Okay, so this is a speaker test video that I found. I'm going to put a max volume and let's try it out. Now I can say the sound is pretty impressive. Thanks for watching, and please hit that like button and smash the subscribe